Pulling the wrist, watch how I flip. Watch how I whip, I'm in the whip. Pulling the wrist, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, car on the wrist. Pulling the wrist, watch how I flip. Watch how I whip, I'm in the whip. Pulling the wrist.
Thanks. Rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Green Bay Packers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 90. Wolf. Get up. Get up. Get up.
And again this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Let's go.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Get it.
Now Miller from the gun, he'll throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Hey, check. Right 50. In your face.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Miller. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Go now. 15 run. 15 run.
Here's Miller operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete.
And what with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Brissett. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
To throw on 2nd down, Miller. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Miller now to throw on 3rd down. And that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Fournette running out of the gun. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down.
I got you. I got you. 59. Mike 59. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 13 yards, first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. We're scoreless after one. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check. 59. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. He's coming. We got double up. Shoot.
Brissett now. Over the middle, it's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Check 59, Mike.
Brissett on first down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Check, 59. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check three. Where'd he go? Take off.
Into the air once more. It's Brissett. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 24-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he will find his man on the outside. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he will take this all the way down to the Packers' 37-yard line. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Last time they were out here, they had the touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminating touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
All day, dog.
Here's Brissett. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Brissett. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Hey, Delta. Watch the slant. 552. Hey, keep it up, keep it up. Hit it.
Miller from the gun, he'll throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his target. That's more. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 21 yards there on 3rd down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Ready up. Watch this. 80 weapon. Hey, exit.
Now Miller on 1st and 10. Johnson's got it complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again. Be careful.
Back to throw. Miller. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Grady Jarrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Man up, deep. Man up, deep.
To throw, Brissett. Looking deep for Adams. He's got him in, complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on 1st down.
59. Mike's 59. He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Mike's 5'9". Mike's 5'9". Let's go, D. Order. Check. 59. Ready.
Out of the gun, Brissett. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw is Brissett. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 25-yard line. Brissett now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They have the lead, now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects. 10 as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now Leonard Fournette. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Check, 59. Man, that's trash. 59's Mike. Check.
Now Brissett. Looking deep for Adams. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Miller from the gun on third down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
59. Mike's 59. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Convert it. Check 31. Check 31. Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. Get him roll. West. Let it go.
On second and 11 now. Brissett. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Brissett now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Throwing. Brissett. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Brissett sets to throw it. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check, check. 59. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 13 yards, 1st down Packers. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
87's me. 87's me. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike, check, 59.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Operating from the gun, Miller. This is Johnson. He's got it. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, but now it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Miller now, operating from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Brissett now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Brissett. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Kill, kill, kill. Kill.
Here's Brissett. And he's going to be hit and taken down. back right around the 48-yard line.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. Watch the run. Hey, Mike's 50. Bravo. I'm here all day. Mike's 50.
Miller to throw on 2nd down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Miller. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return on this one as that kick's out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. This is Fournette. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielding just inside the 20. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on big?
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Watch Mike. Check. Mike 52.
Back to throw. Miller into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Johnson was the intended receiver. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. The Packers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Oh, try. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Hold up.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Good job.
Davante Adams. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The Packers keeping the offense out there now as he'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, you're looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Johnson, the intended target.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
65.
Now Fournette down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Here is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. They are, by the way, into the fourth quarter now in Oakland, and it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. He's going to look deep down the field, and he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Blake Martinez. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How things turn out for him?
I think, okay, he's a guy in all the commercials. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out, and the Falcons grab it. And some room to roam now. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistency.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Grady Jarrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Back to throw here. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Packers, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll drop to 10-4 on the year. And they'll try to get